like drugs, some men like booze, some men chase women with nothing to lose. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow is now. Stop and look around you somehow. Maybe I should have prayed last night instead of drinking dark whiskey chasers. You had plenty of time to find out what everybody knows. I can't hide it, it's no secret. You better watch out, baby, I'm a waster. They say the path to heaven never ends smooth. My road has led to wrack and ruin. They've either married or mad. No one's sexy and sane. 'Cause the older I get, the less I know what I'm doing. Maybe I shouldn't have made you stay last night, but I'm a man, I'm no boy Lisa. You had plenty of time to find out what everybody knows. I can't hide it, it's no secret. You better watch out, baby, I'm a waster. See no storm coming last night, and I'm afraid to face it. I didn't see the full moon last night. I could not wait to embrace her. Maybe I should have made you stay last night, but I'm a man, I'm no boy racer. You had plenty of time to find out what everybody knows. I can't hide it, it's no secret. You better watch out, baby, I'm a waster.
Hard-hitting lyrics in that, Waster from the Big Fat Blues Band, a blues rock project led by Phil Jones, leader of the Welsh rock band Sex, or SEX. However, the Big Fat Blues Band is not about Phil. It's not a solo project, but about the love and appreciation of the blues. The band has two drummers, but they don't actually play at the same time. Matthew Thomas, young and very ambitious, and in a signed metal band called Hunted. The other, Philip Lowry, older, and as a result of a motorbike crash he sustained brain damage, but bravely battled through an injury which brought him right to the very gates of death itself. The band's bass player is Morgan Linham, and he comes from a dark metal background and was in a band called Nihilus, who operated as a commune, but maybe more about that in a little while. And Phil, well, we all know about him. But for this interview, I'm actually out of the studio, and I'm at the Riverside Tavern in Brewery Lane in Bridgend, South Wales, where the Big Fat Blues Band are actually taking a break from their gig, although they will be back on stage in about the next 20 minutes, so I have to get me skates on here. So, gentlemen, welcome to the Underground Edition.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Phil, first question to you. What inspired you to create the Big Fat Blues Band?
Well, as a songwriter, I wrote many songs in the classic rock vein. and there were other songs that just didn't fit at all, and they definitely had the blues edge to them. And as time went on, I ended up with about an album's worth of songs. And as life goes on, it gets harder. The blues songs became more real, more deep, and in more need of an escape hatch. And this is the perfect vehicle for them.
Which songs are being promoted as singles or featured tracks? Because you got an album out, haven't you?
Yes. Hard Man to Love, and we'll be touring later in the year, doing Rockin' on the UK. We haven't taken any off as singles properly. We're just trying to promote the album. We've got it on vinyl, and we're putting it out on CD in the next fortnight, God willing.
All right. Now, how did you assemble together the members of the band?
Well, Phil Lowry was helping me on a community-based project where we were teaching the kids down in Pyle KBC Rock School, and Morgan came and volunteered as well. So it came out of that more than anything, and we put this together, and every year it gets busier and better.
All right. Now, Morgan, if I can come to you, as someone from a dark metal background, what's it like playing the blues?
Awesome. It's, I don't know, I feel like I have a lot more freedom in what I can play. I feel like that I can put more feeling into my playing, not, just with the old band, with the progressive metal band, with Nihilus. It was very, very angry music. And with this band, I feel like there's a lot more variety in the emotions that I'm trying to convey when I'm playing.
So a bit less primal screaming then?
Yes, a lot less primal screaming.
All right, Philip, if I can come to you next. Now, we mentioned a little earlier that you were involved in a horrific motorbike crash. How long did it take you to recover from the crash, Philip?
Well, I'd say 10 years it took from having the accident, but within the 10 years I was always dipping in and out of the drums all the time, and it's a love that I've had for so many years. I just had to keep it going. Well,
I've got to say, I actually heard you drum tonight, and it's amazing. You wouldn't think that you'd had any accident at all. Did you have to learn to play the drums all over again?
Yeah, to a certain degree, yeah, but a lot of it I knew I had a good idea exactly what was what. But to a certain degree, yeah, definitely. I'd say, well, I had to think of the timing of the songs and to get everything right. It took a bit of time, but I was determined to do it, so that was just it. I just thought, right, I got to get this right. I went helping Phil out with the kids, and that's what brought it back to home to me. I'm a Morgan joined, and I thought, we are about to starting something up. And I thought, yeah, right then. And from then, it all just clicked together, and it was great.
Now, if I move on to Matthew, now, as I mentioned, there's two drummers in this band, but they don't actually play at the same time. Matthew, what's it like playing in two bands?
Two bands? Well, I'm actually part of a few projects going on at the moment, but it's nice to have the contrast between the heavy metal scene and obviously blues and rock and roll. And it sort of gives me a break. But I've known Phil for a long time. I haven't known Morgan and Phil Lowry quite as long, but it's always an honour to work with such talented musicians. And my performance on stage is projected by their performance on stage, and I think what helps is we all get on really well with each other, and it's more like a family. It's not just guys getting into a room and just hitting or strumming or bashing things against the wall or destroying hotel rooms or swimming in harbours in Ilfracombe or whatever. It's all about the bond between four blokes that help each other out no matter what, and when Lowry needs me, I'm there. When I need Lowry, he's there, and then when we need help from Phil and Morgan, they're there for us. So at the end of the day, it's such a strong bond, and when you have such strong musicians working around you, everything just clicks into place, as Phil said earlier.
It's like belonging, being part of a family. All right, a question to the floor here. Do you have any plans to perform this year in the UK or Europe?
Yes, we got 3 tours, 2 of which are confirmed. One's in Scotland, one's in England. The England one is in the autumn. The Scottish one, which we can't wait for, is in August. We're waiting to hear back from Ireland. And in fact, we've heard from the north of Ireland, but the south of Ireland haven't got the albums, and it cost about 13 quid just to post it to them, because we had to put it in a big cardboard box. Posting vinyl is a new one. It's a bit of a challenge. But yes, we've already toured Italy this year. I ended up in a hospital, and the boys bravely carried on, but that's another story.
All right, one final question. Where next?
Anywhere anyone will have us, we'll be there. And next week we are in Ilfracombe and Devon area. We're doing 2 shows. We're doing the Chill Bar in Ilfracombe, which is like an extended family really, and then we're playing Little Bridgestock Festival, which I think we're headlining that, I think. And we love going down there because everybody's so humble, so lovely, and they're like our extended family on top of what we've got together as the 4 of us, and they just pack out venues everywhere we go.
Right, one further question, because we're rapidly running out of time here. We're going to be playing out another track now called Rocking Around the UK. Tell us about that.
That's the song that we're going to be making a video of. We're making a video of it, and we're going round the UK with it. We're doing that tour late October into early November, and that's going to be a single.
Gentlemen of the Big Fat Blues Band, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm gonna